I think it's working now. Yep, I'm here. Okay, girl. All right, folks. I don't know what happened. Ay, 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 these computers. All right. Thank you for making us aware, Amanda. Hey, now I see you. We're here now. We're here now. Yay. So, man, I was sharing all this wonderful stuff. I got to start all over again. Well, here we go. So, I'm starting all over again. So, here I was sharing, but you all didn't know. So, I'm sharing. First of all, I'm your host. I'm Latisse, host of Creative Chatter. Welcome, Facebook villagers, YouTube villagers. Hello. Welcome to all of you. We are so excited to see you, to be a part of you, for you to come into the room, sit at Cece's table. All right, let's do this. It's an amazing day. It's hump day. And so we finally gotten over the hump, some of us who have been working. So we're on the other side of that, getting a little bit closer to the weekend. However, what I was sharing with everybody early as I was waiting for people to come into the room is I was talking about God had put it in my heart to kind of like start showing some support and sharing some things about people who are doing things, who are doing businesses, things of that nature, and just trying to push and encourage them, right? Because it's not about us. It's not all, but it's about Jesus. And it's about supporting those that are we are surrounded by that are put on our path from day to day. Um, Dress rehearsal. Hey, Miss TC. Hey, Jasmine. So we want to make sure, I want to be sure if God puts it on me to say something. I want to support you. So if you've got something going on, let me know. DM me, right? You can DM me on Instagram. You can DM me on in Facebook, and I will more than be happy to show my support for you and let tell everybody what you are doing, right? Because that's what's important. And so I want to talk about this piece from paparazzi. Um, there's a few people that I know that are selling paparazzi, just great pieces. I think this is a paparazzi piece actually in my ears. Usually I would be wearing my heart earrings with the bling, and that I would put on so that you all can see these. These are wonderful pieces. Davina Brooks sells it. If you guys need, and she's Adorn Me. I believe that is her paparazzi name, Adorn Me, or Adorned. So you can look that up. I've got Yolanda King. And if you guys give me your tags, I can definitely support that. So give me your tags. But I've got Yolanda King, June Willis, again, like I said, Davina Brooks, Felicia Lee. These are all people who sell paparazzi jewelry. And come on, it's affordable, $5. You can't beat that. $5 for a pair of earrings, $5 for this beautiful big necklace. And they've got some with bling. They've got the sexy, very elegant. If you're going out for a wonderful dinner with your boo, that sort of thing. So we want to be able to help you be fashionistas out there, and just look amazing. And then another piece of girl power is Aisha Scott. Now, you all know Aisha Scott, and if you don't know her, you'll know her a little bit more now. Aisha Scott, who does Diva Builds Future, who helps support young women, young girls into young women. And it's an amazing organization that supports young girls, helping them in their areas of self-esteem and getting them on their feet and supporting them in their careers, helping them with housing. There's so much going on with DBF. But along with DBF, there is Diva's Closet. And on top of that, now we've got Aisha's Designs, which is coming forward. And you guys are going to get a chance to see me rock a hat real soon. I'm so excited. Can you tell? Can you tell? Can you tell how excited I am? I'm gonna be rocking a hat, y'all. So I want to definitely push my people to do what they do. This is streaming not only live here on Facebook, it's streaming live on YouTube. YouTube villagers, if you guys are interested, like I said, send me an email, send me a text, send me something, and I will get you in touch with these ladies. Girl power. That's right. Women supporting women. Awesome. Now, um, now, one of the things I want to make sure that we don't forget is to share. So share this video, share this with someone who could use it, share this with someone who just could use an inspiration because they have forgiven and maybe everybody doesn't believe in that and they just need that moral support. We are a village. That's the reason why I call you villagers, because we support one another. We got to help each other move to the next level. Embrace it is what I always say. Process it so that we can go forward and live wholehearted lives, right? Real big about that. I'm really, really big on that. So please share, like, give me hearts, all that good stuff. And then don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. Hit the monkey. No, it's not a monkey. I'm sorry. Hit Marv. And don't hit him hard because his puppeteer is very sensitive. So we want to make sure that we tap on Marv and subscribe, okay, on YouTube. So we're so excited. Another thing I want to quickly pop on is that we have something launching in February. So we want to help you get your young people involved. Stay with us as we begin to announce those things and share that information and even show you some promotional things just to kind of like, nudge you a little bit. All right. So on to topic. Forgiveness. Usually I would be dolled up, right? Because, I learned that from Miss Aisha Scott. I knew how to do a little doll, but I didn't do a lot of doll. And today I didn't do a lot of doll. And the reason why I didn't do a lot of doll, and it was amazing because while I was getting myself prepared for today, it came into my spirit, in my heart, in my mind, that forgiveness is not something you can dress up. And oftentimes, we will dress it up. We will dress up our feelings. Like I said, we will put hats on it. We'll put jewelry on it. We'll put makeup on it. We'll do a whole lot of things. We'll go out and overspend and do a lot of things that we later on regret doing. In order to mask some things that are going on. And sometimes just in the event that we might run into somebody that we haven't forgiven, or a culture of people that we don't forgive for either how they live life, do life. And so we dress things up. It was amazing to me. And I said, wow, you know what? I never thought about people who would dress forgiveness up. So just real quick, does anybody have any? Yeah, that's right, Amanda. Ooh, hats. Exactly. Get yourself ready, girly, because we're going to have some hats. You're going to love them. I know you're going to love them because I know you're into hats, Missy. So yes, to the hats. Okay. So on top of that, let's see. She said, wow, represent. That's right, darling. That's what we do. Oh, I want to give you a virtual hug too. Yes, girl. So we don't want to dress it up. Does anybody want to say anything about that? I mean, because that was a new revelation to me about dressing up forgiveness. Have you dressed up your forgiveness to kind of shy away from your feelings? And if you think about it, say for instance, that individual approaches you, do you wear a mask? Do you bend the truth so that they don't know or recognize the hurt or the pain that you're experiencing? Yes, I think that's something we need to put on the table, shall we? All right. So that's something I want to address. Anybody have anything? She was LOL. I heard that. Heard what? Represent Jasmine. All right. So I want to give you that opportunity, a moment to maybe key in on that, type in on that. Forgiveness and dressing it up. Is that something that we do? Would anyone agree that we will dress up forgiveness? Have you done it? Anybody want to be transparent? I'll start real quick while you guys are figuring out what you want to say. How about um, when when you're dating someone and they do something that disturbs you, or they have been doing some things. Let's say it's not just one thing, or maybe it's repetitive. It doesn't even have to be a bunch of things, it can just be repetitive. And you're not sure how to approach the conversation. And so you kind of shy away from it, right? But it just bothers you. And then you find yourself, as you continue to ignore it or cover it up, you will find yourself ready to lash out. Or maybe when you guys have some kind of disruptive conversation, that will come flying out of your mouth. Has anybody had that experience? I've had that experience where you find yourself saying something that you called yourself hiding, or kind of not wanting to put out there because of the repercussions of what you would say. But it's an area of unforgiveness that you end up using as a weapon. I hate to say it like that, but our mouths can be weapons, and so we'll use it as a weapon. And I've done that with someone I was dating, and it was unfair to them because they didn't see where it was coming from at the time. And it was only because, maybe I know for myself at that time, it was difficult to communicate those things to that individual, but it didn't help me and my relationship with that person. And so communication being so key, and I know we said that last week, communication is super key, that you do have to be mindful of that. So that being said, let me address some things. Yes, Jasmine said yes, we do uh, dress up forgiveness, because she agrees. She's done it. She's guilty of it. Um, again, this is being transparent, guys, and really taking the band-aids off so that we can live wholehearted lives and recognize that what do we hope to gain by pretending? That's a game of pretend, and it will set you up for other things down the road that's unhealthy for you in your peace of mind, right? Or in your daily relationships with other people. And that's crucial. Our relationships with other people are crucial. I can't tell you that enough. How we do life and live life, and pretending with it, it's just not a good thing. Let me see who else said something. Amanda shared, yes, I am sure I am not alone where we hide those little bags under our eyes from a lack of sleep and tears so people don't ask questions. We hide. But truth of the matter is we can't hide anything from God. And now many of you know I have a dog, because he would not hide as he has done in other episodes. And he decided he wanted to be a screen dog. So everybody wave at Nico. Thank you for licking yourself, Nico. So God bless you. All right. So dress up unforgiveness. Dressing up unforgiveness. It really doesn't look pretty when you take it all off. Once it's exposed, unforgiving of ourselves or the situation is what Amanda is sharing. So it's not something you can dress up. You just can't. And I just wanted to share that because it's something that we do. It's something that you can begin practicing and then don't realize how down the road you won't know the effects of it. Right? You're like, how did I get to this place? How did this happen? And it's because, oh, I started practicing something and I don't know where it started. Isn't that how things happen? You're like, how did I get here? But you don't know where it started. Here's something you might just want to put down on your list of research in self, in your heart, in your mind. Is this where that came from? And don't be ashamed to say, wow, I am, that could very well be my area. Yep, you know what? If you revealed it to me, I really need to check myself right there. So that being said, I'm sure that's not the only monkey on your back. Yeah, it's not. So we're going to talk about some other areas of forgiveness. And I have something that's going to pop in real quick, a video. We got someone who's going to ask a question. Take a look. As always with Facebook, there's some form of technical difficulties. Even the screen is freezing on Facebook. Anybody's got frozen screen? I know I do. Mm-hmm. Womp, womp, womp. Is someone coming to Cece's table? Let's see. She's like, I wonder who it could be. Oh, Amanda. Uh-oh. I think we may have lost some of it when we did the refresh on my screen. I should be able to see it, and I can't. Let me see. I can. Let's see if there's something. Oops. Let's see here. Okay, let me see if I can share it a different way. So let's see. Wow, there's always something seeking. So we'll start here. Let's see if I can help you guys out with this. Let's see if it's going to populate for me. Here we go. Let's see. Only 3, huh? All right. Let's see. I'm going to bring this in for you all. Let's see, there it is. Okay, so this is a little unconventional, but I'm going to show it now. Let's see. Did it pop in for me? All right, so let me do this for you so you can hear it. All right, so can you guys hear that? Were you able to hear it? Let's see. Okay, we can all see it, but cannot hear. Thank you, Amanda. I don't know. These technical difficulties with this. We worked on this yesterday, folks. So for this to not be populating is just a pain in the womp, womp, womp. Because we really did work on this and was able to actually hear it. So let me see. Let me ask a different question right now while we work on getting this back up and getting this rolling. So one question I have for you is, what does forgiveness looks like? What does forgiveness look like based upon age? Do forgiveness look different based upon your age? Like, do you forgive differently based upon your age? I really want to hear where people's thoughts are with that, because again, the purpose of talking about forgiveness is because it's a most difficult topic for a lot of people. And could it be age related? I mean, let's not hide away from anything. Is it possible for it to be age related? Will the teens, anyone at the age of 10, do they show forgiveness differently than someone at 20 or 30 or 60? Let's throw some things on the table and see where are your thoughts on that. Because I know that children under 10, and actually, let me fix that. Children under 5, children under 5 forgive very quickly. Do children under the age of 10 to 5, do that group 5 to 10, do they forgive as easily? Do children at the age of 20, do they forgive easily? Something to ask. So type that in. Someone type that in. What does forgiveness look like based upon age? And I want you to hit me up there and let me know your thoughts. Someone here needs to understand that maybe there were things that you were taught based on your age for why you don't forgive as easily. I mean, I'm here to rip band-aids off in the area of forgiveness and whatever stigmas could be possibly holding us back. Because there's really, there's topics upon topics. And I'm not saying that when I say the importance of forgiveness, I'm not saying the perpetrator or the guilty party, the wrongdoer. I'm not saying that they're not supposed to face consequences. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is we should not allow those things to change our love for people or cause us to self-inflict, self-sabotage, become bitter, and a host of other things that come when we choose not to forgive without really understanding the reason behind that person's behavior. Because you got to understand, people don't just do things just because they have nothing else better to do. I'm not just going to practice unforgiveness because, you know what, that looks like that's the thing to do this month. Right? Like wearing yellow in the midst of a cold snap. And you should be in something, you're looking around looking like a wild, like a sunflower, and you're a sunflower in your spirit, but that's something that's within you, right? So I want us to be very, very, like I said, be transparent, folks. It's time to stop shucking and jiving, and let's get on it. What do we have here? We have Jasmine saying that she's seen where children forgive a lot quicker. I feel that way too. I feel that young children mostly forgive. Like I said, you can be maybe 7 and below will forgive and forget quickly, real quick. And actually, there are some children that may be a little bit older and they will forgive you so quick. So, I might even go up to the age of 9. Maybe they will forgive you a lot sooner than your 10-year-olds and older, right? So I agree. Yeah, young children, seeing children forgive a lot quicker. Sometimes you'll see them playing and someone do them wrong and they go right back to playing with them. Don't even think about it. They back to play. And we should be just like that, right? Wouldn't you say? Back to play. Amanda is sharing, I think how we forgive does look different. I think time helps with healing, but also what you can and cannot tolerate changes. Good point. Yes. Yes. So as I was saying, when it comes to people who, how was I saying it before? That if I'm not the wrongdoer or the offender, I'm not saying that they're not supposed to suffer consequences or anything. They need to go through whatever they need to go through in hopes that it will change how they behave and that they will make a turn for the better than the worse. However, it shouldn't change and make us bitter or nasty or treat people unkindly or do things that will ultimately hurt us. However, what I do agree with what Amanda is sharing is that she is saying can it will change how you tolerate things. Like your tolerance level will change. And even in your tolerance, there's a way that we do that, right? We still do that with a level of love and respect for the other person, because respect begets respect. And even though we don't always get what we give, don't turn your integrity and moral value around in order to look like the rest of the world. If I can just say that, do not change your moral or integrity to mimic the world, because you will get a world's response. And if you're not ready for that, darling, I would encourage you not to take that path. Let that be the path less traveled. All right. And then what else did Amanda share? She goes, when I was younger, being rejected was such a heavy weight, and feelings of unforgiveness towards myself crept in. Rejection was a heavy weight. And so she started to begin to carry this feeling of unforgiveness based on rejection from others. Not so much as that anything she was or how she was wrong. It's just that someone else didn't know how to accept Amanda in Amanda way. They didn't know how to process Amanda in her way. And because of that, and because of their inability in that time period of their life, not knowing how to communicate, not knowing how that might affect Amanda, not understanding the effects that would happen down the line, or how it would affect her in life as she did life, they inflicted this out of their inability, if that makes sense. People do things never seeing the end result. All they do is what they know in the moment because it affected them. So what do? I'm just going to, instead of being proactive, they were reactive, and they were reactive to Amanda in such a way that she ended up carrying that weight. And so it is carried throughout her life that rejection would be a big issue in her day to day. So, I mean, again, that's why it's so important for us to be mindful one of another and never just think it's all about us. And I'm just going to carry my feelings and I'm just going to express the way I feel. And this is what I think. Well, guess what? It comes back. It comes back. And so to you, Amanda, I would say, you may not ever be able to see the effects of their response to you in creating that area of shame or having you where you've held on, or you've carried this unforgiveness. They don't even understand how, and you may never see how it is affecting their lives, and how what the world calls karma has come back to haunt them, right? So It's so important that right now we look at that individually at the table and say, you know what? If I've been doing this, raise your hand and say, God, forgive me. Whoever it is that's out there that I've done this to, please forgive me if I caused you any area of feeling rejected, of feeling unwanted, feeling unheard, like your voice didn't matter. Please take a moment to just say, please forgive me. If you have done this to somebody, you know, to those whom I love, don't know, haven't been around, schoolmates, classmates, you know, old friends, just type in there, to all my old friends, classmates, family members, please forgive me if I ever made you feel lesser than. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to grab my own Facebook. I'm going to say right now, forgive me. Because if I've done that to anybody, and I don't want you walking around like that, that's not right. I wouldn't want to walk around like that. And I can guarantee you, when I was in school wearing glasses, and they weren't the sexy ones, they weren't, you know, they weren't Christian Dior's or Prada or anything fancy. They were plastic, they were thick. And I was four eyes, I was froggy, I was the least of them. I was definitely not on their attractive lists. And so people did me dirty. And then they used that to mistreat me. And they would mistreat me. And some of them would come up to me and pretend to be a friend, literally pretend to be a friend. And I would take them in thinking, oh, I've got a friend. It's great. Look at, we're friends. And then they would turn around and be in a corner with another group laughing. But they're not laughing with me. They're laughing at me. So if I've ever done that out of my hurt, then I ask for forgiveness. Forgive me. Please, again, it's about being transparent, folks, and just taking it. And I mean, this is not an altar. I'm not God, far from it, but I'm human. I make mistakes. We all do. And to clean your plate, to clean your heart, to be able to walk into your season, walk into a new business opportunity, walk in anything. Even if you say, I'm just on here and I just want to make it to heaven. You want to make it to heaven, you got to do it through, you got to forgive. All right. So please forgive me, please, if ever I made you feel lesser than. And like I said, it's really about making right your wrongs. Heartbreaking. I don't want to be that person towards anyone ever. So I posted up. There it is. Heartbreaking. Okay, next question. The next question that I had was in regards, again, what does forgiveness looks like? And oops, let me see. What did forgiveness look like based upon gender? There you go. Gender. Let's look at forgiveness in the area of male versus female. Now, I know I've been chatting about a lot of girl power, and while you guys are meditating on that, there are, I wish we had some dudes on here, some guys, some fellas, some gentlemen, all of that, because they all fall into different categories. But I wished we had some on here that wouldn't be ashamed to share about forgiveness and get on here and help some other young men, boys, come out of their shell, because this creative chatter is not just for chicks. Creative chatter is for anybody who is trying to make a change and live a wholehearted life and finding creative ways to do it. Now, mind you, some of my creative ways have been having some technical issues, but we're gonna get it, and you guys are gonna see it, and you're gonna enjoy it. Boom, just thought I'd put it out there. So let me see. Wow, I know we all have, um, and uh, we all have, and probably never realized it. Yeah, exactly. We all have, um, and just never realized it. Amanda, in the last part of what she shared, though, was now that she's older and wiser, she's more understanding. And that's really what this is all about. We have to become wiser. Know better, do better. I say it every time on the episodes. Know better, do better. So it's important that we learn and have the ability and the opportunity to grow. And doing CC's, coming to CC's table helps us to shed some of that excess weight that we've been carrying, baggage that we've been carrying. Okay. What else did we get? Uh, yes, she asked me, wasn't I a cheerleader? Speaking of dressing things up, yes, I was a cheerleader for Hollywood High School. Cheerleader, drill team. I was a dancer for the play production. Um, and those were just areas that I enjoyed being in, but it was also another way of escape. And if I can say another thing, woo, I feel this one coming on me. So I'm sharing it because I can feel it. Sometimes um, there are people, there are artists, um, sports folks, um, doctors, anything you study. I want you to really touch bases on this. This is going to hit home, I believe, for a lot of people. When I began to dance, it was a way of escape. It was a way of me finding music to dance out what I was troubled with. Music has been and will always be key to me. It was a conversation piece. It said things that I probably couldn't say as eloquent. And so I would find myself dancing in a way to help me process some information that I otherwise couldn't do. How many of you have careers and things that you do to kind of help you self express? Watch some people's art sometimes. Watch the painters, the artists. Look at some of the work that they do and ask, I wonder where they were in their head during that time. What was happening in their lives? Because there's things that artists do, actors do, dancers do. It's a way of expressing. I love that art for that very reason. And I believe that was an art that was God given because he knew I would struggle. Ooh, he knew I would struggle, y'all. And because he knew I would struggle, he gave me an instrument in which to use. That's a beautiful thing. So don't hide your instruments because they speak well of you. Or for oh yeah. So there was my forgive me please thing there. Anybody else want to share anything else in that area? So what about gender? I didn't hear anything in the ways of gender. I want to get that in before we wrap up. Anybody want to share anything about male forgiveness versus female forgiving? And do you think there's a difference? Do you think one holds a grudge longer than the other? Do women hold grudges longer than men? Um, I really want to hear from the village and tell me what you think, because I think that this would be a crucial piece of information to kind of tap in on, and whether or not that's an issue. Um, is it an issue that can be repaired? Can I know it really takes the individual, but is there anything that we could say that might encourage or coax someone to change maybe how they see life and do life, male or female? Come on and chime on in. Chime in, chime in, chime in, chime in. Anybody have anything they have to say about that? I am going to be patient with you because I really want to hear from you. I really want to hear your thoughts in this area. Let me know what you're thinking, because I think it's, I don't know, women, I think probably not to their advantage, probably forgive faster than men. Yeah, I'm gonna say that we would be quicker to forgive than the average Joe. So you guys let me know where you are on that. I'd love to hear from you. Would we forgive quicker? Let's see. Forgive quicker. Question. All right, so I'm engaging for a real quick minute there with some people on my YouTube channel. I saw that Amanda signed in on that. Awesome, Amanda. So let's see. Jasmine is sharing. Let's see what Jasmine has to share. She is sharing. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even realize it was coming from that. Wow, that's weird. Cool beans. That's awesome. All right, so Jasmine is sharing. Well, I think make I think she meant male or men, um, or females are sensitive in different areas and things. Okay, so I think she's saying based on the topic or based on circumstances, one might forgive faster than the other. I think that's might be what she's trying to help us better get. I can see that. There are some things that women will forgive quicker than men, and men will forgive maybe quicker than women and throw it under the rug. And we only know that when we only know that we've truly forgiven when that topic can come up or the situation can come up and we can say it without a grimacing face, like not throwing ugly looks, throwing shade, as they say. Let me see. Um, Not no, not true. My husband forgives more quickly than I do. Ha! There you go. There you go. Props out to Mr. Turk. The wifey is saying that you forgive far greater than she do. I wish you were on here so that you could say how you think about that. But so that would be completely amazing to hear that. I'm gonna need you to get in here one day, Michael. Let's see, what is it? Men are interesting. The men in my family are not emotional. They don't talk about their feelings. Hence, why? And should we be concerned? I would say yes. Why do I say yes? That men, um, it's typical, and I believe somewhere in their male society, it is considered weakness to be vulnerable and share and forgive, when really it's a great strength. And I shared that months ago when it came to discipline or comes to forgiveness. It takes courage to forgive. It takes a lot to throw in your forgiveness, and knowing that people are going to come at you because they hold on to unforgiveness so greatly. Men fight it out. Yeah, but I mean they fight it out, but is it right to fight it out? I mean, it's one thing to take it to the gym and hit a punching bag or two, but it's another thing to attack other people because you aren't in the right headspace. I know someone who suffered from that, and it hurt them greatly. So, in my wrap up on this, I'm going to share some areas of what forgiveness, the repercussions of it. So, I want you to just take this, jot these little notes down. Um, uh, when we don't work out our areas of forgiveness, we set ourselves up for being isolated. Isolated, forgiveness can be a reflection. Why? Because forgiveness can be a reflection of your own wrongdoing towards others. Um, and so that exposure that you ran from others for mistreating others, for wrongdoing others, when they come to forgive you or being uh, transparent or having to deal with the transparency of that, um, it creates this this reason to shelter to prevent the stigma of attack. You don't want to be attacked. So it's like, I've done it to others, but I don't want it to be done unto me. So I'm gonna shy away. I'll just stay away. I don't want anybody to know that this is something I've practiced, or this is something that I do, or that this is something that I've done. And by me giving you a platform to forgive reminds me of what I've done. And yeah, I'm not trying to do that. And so you isolate yourself, and you face challenges building relationships with people, because you won't be honest with yourself, and you won't forgive yourself for what happened. So when we don't work on our forgiveness, we isolate ourselves. Point number one. Point number two, a lack of self forgiveness will cause you to retreat into social loneliness and enable coping skills necessary for healthy relationships with others. So you don't learn to cope. When you do this isolation thing, and when you go into a world of loneliness and become a hermit, and people think that that's so um, there was a point in time where people thought that that was cool to be a hermit, but then they found themselves hurting or seeing other people laughing and enjoying each other's company. And you know what? I just love it when we hang out. And you hear these conversations, but you don't have that conversation. It's because there's an area of forgiveness that you really do need to work on. And if you can't do it alone, get help. There's therapists, there are people out there willing to help you break these barriers and tear them down. So it may not be at Cece's table, but take it to the table, or for some people, a couch. And I don't mean a casting couch. So now, next would be rejecting forgiveness doesn't hurt the giver, but further isolates the recipient from being worthy of this forgiveness, finding it hard to believe that forgiveness of others could result in a positive, healthy living or thoughtful lifestyle and living one's journey out in this life. So when we think about forgiveness, it can be positive, and it can help you live your life journey and live it out in the full and even teach it. So break away from isolation. Let's have that conversation. Let's break these barriers, and we can do it together. I'm no greater than the next. We're all in this together. We all want to see each other grow. We want to see each other move forward, live a wholehearted life here at Creative Chatter. And as we sign off, I always share with you, there's always hope at Cece's table. Continue on this forgiveness journey. We're not done yet. All right. I want to see some vision boards. Maybe you need to work on a vision board. Maybe you need to go address that person. Write a letter to the person that maybe you need to share forgiveness with or seek forgiveness. So write a letter, do a vision board, do something creative, do a painting, show a picture of a heart of you and that person that you are unforgiving, and find a way to forgive it. Send them a card. Send them a gift card with a card. Do something that's outside the norm, okay? And help break that down so it gives you a um, healthy balance and emotional balance. All right. This is Latice, your host, signing off. Again, always reminding you there is hope at Cece's table. And if there is anything you're trying to promote, send it our way. We'll be glad to do a little shout out. Remember, meet us here next Wednesday at 4:30. And we'll be ready to give you a couple of calendars set up so that you know when we'll be on for the holidays, because there will be some holiday time off. And I want to make sure that you know that. Other than that, that's all I've got. And I hope to see you again soon. Tell a friend. Share, 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 share. Bye for now. Bye bye.